Engagement sessions. One of the most commonly done couple sessions that I personally do, and most photographers I know do. So, engagement sessions way back when were done. We didn't have smartphones, we didn't have social media to announce our engagement. So, what people would do is they would go get professional portraits taken, usually in a studio, and they would put them in the newspaper with a little announcement so everybody in the world knew that they're getting married. And nowadays, engagement sessions are pretty much the same purpose, maybe a little more creative. People go outside and get them done. A lot of people go to like parks. And people share these pictures on social media with a sweet little "we're engaged." A lot of people like to bring their dogs or make signs to bring to their engagement sessions so they can have them in the pictures. A lot of people are using their engagement sessions to send save the dates to family and friends so that people will save their wedding dates and can come to their weddings. Engagement sessions are the hoopla, and but there's something missing. So engagement sessions are great. They have a purpose. I'm not going to sit here and say that they don't, but what happens is people hire photographers to get these pictures taken for social media or to email or snail mail to family. And then guess what happens to them? They drift off into cyberspace or get buried at the bottom of a bunch of other postcards that your family has of you or from other people from holidays. And these engagement sessions end up being a couple $100, sometimes thousands, depending on who you hire and what you do. And you've spent all this money and all this time on pictures that get looked at a couple of times on social media. And when you look at them, all you can remember is, I got these pictures taken for a save the date, or I got these pictures taken for Facebook or Instagram. And that's fine, but there's a missed opportunity, in my opinion. You're engaged once to this person. I say this all the time to my couples. You can renew your vows. A lot of people who dream of having an elopement but also dream of having family will do some kind of vow renewal. I know my husband and I have been planning one since before our wedding. We're literally just waiting for international borders to open, and then we are booking flights. Have our photographer and everything all picked out. I'm ready to go. I'm just waiting for the borders to open. So you can do that. You can renew your vows. You can get married multiple times, but never again will my husband and I celebrate our engagement. And I think an engagement gets overlooked. I think that it kind of just gets tacked on to the idea of getting and being married. And marriage is beautiful. I am obsessed with my marriage. I want to marry my husband every day for the rest of our lives. I absolutely love being married to him. But there's something really magical about being engaged. This is such a short period of your relationship and of your lives where you are promising your lives together, and you're planning this incredible day filled with intention, and all the focus is on the wedding and on the marriage itself. But not many people actually take the time to think about the fact that they just promised each other their lives. And that's a big deal. Engagements have purpose. They're more than just a time where you have a, wedding to plan. They're a time when you guys are so excited about each other and are so deeply, passionately in love with each other that you're looking forward to spending the rest of your lives with each other. And that, I think, in itself is a milestone to celebrate. So, how I like to approach engagement sessions with my couples is that the engagement session is not just an opportunity for these social media photos. Your engagement session is going to be a celebration of this milestone in your lives and in your relationship. So how do we do that? We make the engagement session more about you and your connection with each other and creating an experience, and less about actual pictures. So I have this conversation with all of my couples that inquire for engagement sessions. P.S. I do love engagement sessions. Yes, I'm an elopement photographer, but I love taking pictures of couples no matter whether they're wearing suits and gowns or whether they're wearing sweaters and pajamas and they're in their home. I just love taking pictures of love. So just want to get that straight. Engagement sessions are special. So I have this conversation with all of my couples. Don't just pick a park that your friends went to for their engagement session, or don't just pick, some patch of flowers. Like, let's actually make an experience, a date night out of this. Let's go somewhere you guys have never been before. Let's drive an hour or two away. Let's make an afternoon of it. Let's go to a waterfall. Let's hike this path along this cliff. Let's travel for your engagement session. Like, I'm going to be out of town these dates. Meet me up. Like, make a freaking weekend out of it. Go down to if you're in New York, go down to the Hudson Valley. There are so many amazing waterfalls to explore. You can get an Airbnb for the weekend. I know I did a session with a couple this summer who got an Airbnb down in the Hudson Valley. They came all the way from Ohio. They have family here, but they came all the way down to the Hudson Valley, got an Airbnb for the weekend. We spent an entire morning hiking with them and their friends and their dog. And they celebrated their engagement. It was so much fun. They brought a picnic. They brought a bottle of champagne. It was so much fun. I have a couple of other couples who have done in-home sessions. And they'll, again, make some mimosas at home or some really nice, like a pot of coffee. They'll make cookies together. I can take pictures of you guys making cookies together and making mimosas or coffee. And they'll just snuggle up in cute pajamas on their bed or on their couch, or we can kind of like this actually is a really good idea. Make like a fort in your living room out of pillows and blankets and string up lights and get pictures in the fort. Like, let's have some fun. Order pizza. It doesn't have to be taken seriously. You don't have to go shopping for new clothes. You don't have to put, each other in gowns or suits and ties and stand, sterilely. Like, move around, bring your dog, walk up and down the street you bought your first house at. That's what my husband and I did. We did our engagement sessions right here in our home, the first home we ever had together. And I love that I have those pictures forever. We walked up and down our neighborhood where we go for a walk with each other every night. If you're hikers, like, pick a trail, go hiking, go camping, like, pitch a tent, like literally go camping and light a fire and bring your photographer to go camp with you. If you're somewhere really cool, you could, make a spa weekend out of it, or find like a really unique Airbnb or hotel to stay at. I know, like, when we were in New Zealand, there was I wanted to stay there, but we just didn't have enough time in our itinerary. There's this really cool place you can stay with like these yurts. And then they have these like separate siloed hot tubs overlooking this mountain range. And I really wanted to go into the hot tub. Like I said, we just didn't have enough time to do that. We had a hot tub at our Airbnb, so it all worked out, and we had the same view, so it all worked out. But like, I would have loved to have and we had a couple session done in New Zealand, but I would have loved so much for like, if our session was closer, like for our photographer to come back to our Airbnb with us and have some hot tub time with us and have some drinks and like take pictures of us in the hot tub and with our drinks and, making pizza for dinner. Like, it would have just been so fun to make a whole day of it. And I stress this in another video I create, is that remember why you're hiring a photographer in the first place. Like, remember the purpose of these photos. And if you hire a photographer for a half hour to take like a handful of photos for you at a park for like $100, like, and all you're doing with that $100 is posting it on Facebook or Instagram or making save the dates, then that's what you did. You spent $100 to take a picture to post on Facebook. And like I said, I'm not dissing that at all, but there's a missed opportunity. spend a little more money, get some more time with your photographer. I mean, I open up all of my engagement sessions are like 2 hours. Like, I know that to some people that sounds ridiculous, but we use it. We're not taking pictures for the full 2 hours. We're like walking around and exploring and doing stuff, but you have like so much more time to plan something in 2 hours than you do a half hour. And that's why I do that. I want to encourage all of my couples to use that 2 hours. Like, make this an experience. Don't just hire me for a half hour to get these social media pictures. I can't get pictures of you emotional and really sappy and like, I can't do it in a half hour. I can't. It's going to take a half an hour of shooting just to get you guys in a spot where you're comfortable enough for me to get those really romantic pictures. People hire me because the pictures that I share are always so emotional and so authentic. I'm like, those were not taken in the first 10 minutes. Like, that's because I spent a couple hours with this couple and we were really comfortable. We were playing music and we were moving and we were like discovering, like each other and how each other works. Like, this session took a lot of time to like exercise these muscles and get the couple comfortable. Like, there's no way unless your guys are like, they'll do this all the time. It doesn't matter how talented your photographer is. Like, you need more than just a half hour. And that's kind of why I don't do mini sessions very often. But bottom line is, use this opportunity, spend a little more time with your photographer, and use this opportunity to craft a celebration around your engagement, and then invite your photographer along to capture that. That way, when you look back on these pictures, you're not remembering, oh yeah, we did this for, Facebook, so everyone can see that we're engaged. We did this for each other, and we did this to celebrate this milestone. And look how fun this day was. Like, look what we did. We went to this brewery, went to this winery, we did this hike, like, we celebrated, and this is how we felt. And these pictures show that every step of the way. So make the absolute most of your engagement session. Spend a little more money, spend a little more time, make it a day of it. Take some time off work. It's a good excuse. Go get your hair and your nails done or whatever. Have fun. Make it fun and make it memorable and make it so that you have a reason for a photographer to be there. I hope that this was helpful. I hope that this inspired you. If you have any ideas for other couples and how they can make their engagement session fun or special, or maybe talk about your experience, your good experiences, don't drop any names. If you're going to talk about your bad experiences, please, but you can share those experiences and maybe what you've learned from them. Leave all the advice for future couples in the comments below, and thank you so much.